Hi, this is Sheree from Sheree'sCraftGirls.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today my project is this sweet little milk carton type box with a folder over top. For this you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 9.5 by 6. Taking your scoring tool, we're going to score at 2.25 with the long side at the top, 2.25, 4.5, 6.75 and 9. Turning it 90 degrees so that the short side is at the top, we're going to score at 1.25, 3.5 and 5.25. Okay, removing your scoring tool, I'm now going to do a little bit of stamping just across this section here, which will be this section here and at the top. And I'm going to be using both Calypso Coral and Blushing Bride. And I'm also using the flower set from the flower shop, and I'm going to be using this one. Okay, so taking my my Blushing Bride first because it's the lighter of the two. I'm just going to randomly stamp just a couple of flowers across the top. Okay, then cleaning my stamp, or my stamp and scrub, which for some reason will not open. There we go. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to be using the Calypso Coral just to give it a little bit of contrast. Isn't that lovely? I think I'm going to cover that there with a little piece of scrap paper just along there so I can pop one in there. Lovely. Okay. Popping those to the side, we're now going to do our folding and burnishing. So fold and burnish all of your score lines. There we go. There we are. Oh, I missed a little one. And now I'm going to pop on some DSP cardstock, designer series paper. These measure 2 inches by 2 inches, and I'm just going to pop those in there, and they're from the designer series papers subtle collection. Now you can either use some snail, fast fuse or wet glue. I'm just going to pop on for speed a little bit of sticker strip as I'm waiting for a delivery for my snail and my fast fuse. I run out this morning, so just going to pop just across top and bottom. Short, so you can even use wet glue if you prefer, that's fine too. Should have done this before, shouldn't I? It would have saved an awful lot of time. Never mind. Pop that next one. This paper's beautiful. They're all double-sided. I'm going to use the flower as I used a flower stamp for the top. They've got stripes and they've got dots. It's really, really pretty. So, removing the backing paper, I'm just popping those nice and evenly in each of those squares. I mean, you could, if you like, you could put designer series paper up there to match, or you could stamp all over. I just thought this would be a bit fun to have both. So just popping those in there. There we go. And now we're just going to, right, where you've got the thinner of the two boxes, this one I think is about, let me see, yes, that one's 3/4 of an inch, and that one is 1.5 inches. The 1.5 inch is what's actually going to be the base of your box, and we're going to cut off the very first rectangle on that one, removing that completely, and then just cut up these score lines. That will form the base of your box, and at the top you're going to take away the very first small rectangle and the first large rectangle. So we're going to remove them completely. Keep that rectangle. Cut down the next score line and the one that follows, and we're going to remove the middle rectangle. So we're going to keep this one and the end one and remove the centre one. So cutting as neatly as you can, remove that whole section. Okay, now getting some sticky strips, snail or fast fuse, pop that down the tab, turn it over, and you're going to put some sticky strip or some snail, not on the first one that's with the tab, but the next one. And the last one, or the first one if you're coming that way. So first or last, wherever you like. And there, really, is our little pouch box made. Removing sticky strip, construct your box, open it up, bring in your sides, bring in the back, and then bring over the front, going inside with your bone folder. Squeeze these gently and fold the flaps over one another. Now find where your back seam is. There. I'm going to keep that one as my back. So the back goes in the front and the front goes over the back. Taking your pokey tool, you are now holding these two flaps quite securely. You're just going to put two very small holes through the two, hopefully, or at least mark them. And then we're going to get a handheld punch and punch the 4 holes. 1, 2. Stampin' Up do some lovely handheld punches, which aren't quite as bulky as mine, which I'm hoping to get very shortly. And taking a length of ribbon, I'm just going to take a length, and I've lost my front again. That's my front. So we're going to go in the front, over the top of the back one, I'm pushing it inside, then come in, get more ribbon, taking the from underneath and coming back out, and then we're going to come underneath and back out again, and that brings us to the top of our bag, where we're going to close it all nicely, pull it together, and this is where the fun begins for me, because I'm really not very good at doing bows. So I'll give it a go and see what happens. So tying a nice little bow to secure your top. Gosh, I can't even tie the knot, let alone the bow. Bringing it together. There we go, I'm tying, as I say, trying to tie a pretty little bow. There we are. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? Not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad for me. Tidying the ends. And that one. There's your beautiful little box. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to pop on at the top. I'm actually punched out with the corresponding pansy punch, which matches the stamp set, and I'm just going to pop a dimensional on the back of that one, and I'm going to pop him on the top of that flower there. Just, isn't that so sweet? And for the label, what I'm going to use is a 2-inch round punch and a 1 3/4 inch punch, and I haven't actually got a sentiment out. Isn't that silly? So with that one, I have a sentiment from Party Wishes, and I'm going to use Make a Wish. Okay, so pop that on our clear block, get some Whisper White, and stamp that. I think we're going to use a coral Calypso Coral. Stamp that out, ink in our block, popping that on. There, that's lovely. And taking our 1 3/8 circle punch, we're just going to pop that out, and using a dabber or a sponge, just going around the edges to soften it and give it some definition. Okay. And taking our Blushing Bride, I'm going to just punch out a 2-inch circle, and with a dimensional, 2 dimensions I think, let's be generous, and pop those on the back of there, on the actual sentiment one. Move the back in, pop that in the centre of that one, and pop that a little bit of sticky tape or wet glue or snail. Removing the backing and pop that on the front. There. Isn't that pretty? A milk carton type box with a lovely flat. I have to do that, that's annoying. Lovely flat top. Really, really good size. As I say, you can do it in the cardstock or the DSP paper. Hope you've enjoyed my tutorial. Until next time, take care. Bye.